course after a 2-hour visit. Golfer's elbow can be permanently eliminated for a fixed price of $585. Golf season is here. Enjoy pain-free golf with just one visit to Regenesis.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and we're making room for new shipments during our spring clean-out at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. With your good credit, save thousands with 3.9% financing for up to 84 months on new 25 F-150s with STX 4x4s starting at under $44,000. New 25 Explorers start at under $36,000 or choose 2.9% for up to 84 months. Get 5.9% financing for up to 84 months on new 25 Broncos or choose $2,750 customer cash plus 2-year 24,000-mile complimentary maintenance. And while they last, new 25 Bronco Sports come with your choice of $2,500 customer cash or 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. And there's never any hidden markups or dock fees. Don't miss your chance to save big with spring clean-out pricing on all new 25s. We hope to see you real soon at Lynn Layton Ford, right in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline in Decatur, or online anytime at lynnlaytonford.com.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It is Thursday, April the 23rd, 2026. Steve Moulton here with your update. The 91st annual meeting of the National Football League franchises to select newly eligible players begins tonight in Western Pennsylvania. The Raiders franchise has the first overall pick for just the second time in the Common Era draft. In 2007, the Raiders selected LSU quarterback Jamarcus Russell. In high school baseball, the state baseball playoff tournaments begin today. 6A matchups include Hazel Green and Athens, Coleman and Southside, and Buckhorn takes on Hartselle. In Major League Baseball,
Suarez back to work. First pitch swinging. Fly ball to deep center. Michael Harris is under it. He will squeeze it. And the Braves win it 8-6 here in Washington.
That was the final call from the Atlanta Braves radio network. The Rocket City Trash Pandas fell in extra innings to Biloxi 6-5. That series continues tonight on Talk Radio, WZZN.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Throwback Thursday in the Doghouse. You know, I feel like I should be playing this, don't I? I mean, I do. Because it is draft day in the NFL as well. I know that's for Football Friday, where, for Football Friday, I'm going to be on the back porch of the Gunnersville Tackle Outlet out at Goose Pond Colony overlooking Gunnersville Lake for the annual Casting and Catching tournament down there to benefit the Alabama Children's Hospital. And so we always broadcast from the back porch there of GTO and the beautiful little restaurant they've got there and tackle shop and everything else. And so I won't have my toys with me, so I won't be able to, although Grasshopper back in studio will be able to probably drop that in there for Football Friday. But it feels like a Football Thursday, doesn't it? every Thursday we do feature some sort of throwback bump music. It could be old TV shows or cartoons or movies or wrestling walk-up songs, which we did last week in honor of the WrestleMania, musicians' birthdays or death days, whatever. It's up to the boys, whatever they want to do. It's no theme necessary. We are building a throwback library, but to be honest, and you guys can contribute to that, just hit the text window and say, hey, this is some of the stuff I'd love to hear on a Throwback Thursday, and I'll pass it on to them. But today, I personally, if I had any influence on this show, personally, classic NFL films music, maybe, or that draft, that draft music that ESPN uses when they show the highlights of the prospect, of the guy that was drafted, and then they have that music, maybe that movie Draft Day. I don't know if there wasn't any music for the movie Draft Day, but we got a lot on the draft today. Including, I have in my hand the most complete first-round mock draft of all. Taking the term mock draft to another level. You'll like that. I'm going to get that in there. I get that in there. Wide open first hour of the show. And then at the top of the 11, former NFL Executive of the Year Jeff Diamond is back to help us with the draft as well. Who better to pull back the curtain on how that works? We're so lucky to have Jeff Diamond, who has been through this process at various levels, including as a GM with the Minnesota Vikings and then as the president of the Tennessee Titans when he wasn't necessarily involved in the picks as much. I don't know. Was he, having been a GM? How much are the coaches involved? Do the owners, get involved in this thing as well? Like when the Browns owner, Jimmy Haslam, insisted that they had to pick Johnny Manziel because some homeless guy on the street told him you should take Johnny Manziel. I don't know. I mean, how much is it like that movie Draft Day, the Kevin Costner film, which I really like. Kevin Costner and that Jennifer Gardner in that movie Draft Day. It's kind of cool movie, actually. So, we need to get in on that with him. We have a rare opportunity with Jeff to pull back the curtain on this here draft day. And I got to get his take on the Ravens GM, Eric DeCosta's comments that I shared with you yesterday about how NIL has changed the draft because they've got now so many 24 and 25-year-old players that get drafted now. NIL keeps them in college. They get more wear and tear on them and so on. Went from 4% of the draftees being 24 and a half years old on draft day to 18%. That's a big jump. It's a big jump. It was also extension day in Tuscaloosa, as both Kalen DeBoer and Nate Oates got extension. DeBoer is now the third highest paid coach in the entire country after Kirby Smart and Ryan Day, who both have natties, 2 for Kirby, 1 for Day. The interesting part there is the buyout, because it's really quite manageable. I'll get into that with you as well. I mean, if you're a wait-and-see kind of guy, it's like, going to bump his pay up to $12.5 million a year and make him the third highest-paid coach in football. Yeah, okay, that's one thing. What's it cost to move on? And I'm not a move-on guy. I like Kalen DeBoer. They better start running the ball with intention, but for the most part, I like Kalen DeBoer. But what does it cost to move on? In the end, that's what these contracts are really all about. And it's really quite manageable. We'll look at that. Your phone lines are open. Feel free to jump in and contribute. 256-576-4977. That number is good wherever and however you consume the show. We got a text window for you as well. We'll read and react to those on the air. 732-982-7469. If you're Alpha Challenge, that's 7329TA-SHOW. Finally, you can watch the show as well on WZZN TV on the YouTube, Facebook, X. My X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. You can go there and check it out. Check it out. So Kalen DeBoer is 20-8 at Alabama. They were the 1 seed in the SEC championship game last year. If there was such a thing as a regular season championship, they would have won it. They were the 1 seed, but they got beat in the SEC championship game and got beat handily. That's the one thing about Kalen DeBoer. He's got the 8 losses. When they get beat, they get beat. I mean, they got good wins. I mean, they won at Georgia. They beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma in the playoff game. I mean, they have good wins along the way. He's beaten Tennessee. He's beaten LSU. He's beaten the people, you know. But when they get beat, they go out. They flame out in unbelievable fashion. So he's got that playoff win, but he's also, you know, then got whacked by Indiana on their way to the national championship. The big issue, as I said, is the buyout. So he's going to get $12.5 million a year, which is just a tick under Ryan Day. Ryan Day is at $12.75 million a year. But more than every other coach in college football except for Kirby Smart. More than Dabo Swinney, who's got 2 national championships. Dabo's around 11. More than anybody that's out there. Anybody else that's out there. Not a lot of national championship winning coaches out there right now. Nick Saban took a bunch of those with him into retirement. But if you want to pull it, if you pull the trigger on Kalen DeBoer, and I don't know what that number looks like. I mean, would you pull? You're not going to pull the trigger on him if he goes 9-3. If he goes 9-3, 10-2, 9-3, are you pulling the trigger on him? 8-4? I mean, that would be like the sky is falling. They went 8-4. That would put him on the extreme hot seat. I don't think you'd blow him out at 8-4. Now that they've extended him, especially 7-5, it might be an issue. But if they were 8-4, they're going to say, all right, give them one more year. We're going to go back to at least 10 wins the next year. But if they were to decide to pull the trigger on him, it costs $10 million at the end of this upcoming season. At the end of the following season, it would cost $8 million. After that, $6 million. That is not a lot, guys. That is not a lot. Consider the fact that Penn State just paid James Franklin $49 million to leave. Brian Kelly got $53 million to leave. Jimbo Fisher got that insane $76 million to leave. This guy's got the same agent. Kalen DeBoer's got that at $10 million. $10 million. Now, you could say, is that $10 million? And we'll talk to Kenyon and Lloyd Smith tomorrow, not only about the draft and general SEC players being drafted and so on, but then also about this. But you have to wonder whether or not, now does that mean like if he wants to leave? Because he, you know, there were some pretty significant rumors that he was going to be the next coach at Michigan. And Michigan, you know, Michigan couldn't get him because why would you leave Alabama for Michigan? You know what I mean? Michigan couldn't get him, so they went to the next guy, Kyle Whittingham. They went and got, you know, the next choice. They couldn't get their number one choice, which was Kalen DeBoer. So they go to Kyle Whittingham, which is a good coach. You know, he's a good coach. He'd do all right. But if he wanted to leave in 2 years or whatever, if another gig came up and, you know, he really wanted that job, does that mean he pays $6 million to get out of his, or $8 million to get out of his contract too? Well, maybe that's a two-edged sword. 6 years ago, Gus Malzahn got $21.5 million from Auburn. You know, Auburn's paying half the coaches in college football right now. Gus got $21 million from Auburn. So this number is relatively low. Now, Nate Oates gets $7.2 million, which moves him up to 4th on the college basketball list. That moves him past Tom Izzo and only behind Bill Self at Kansas, John Calipari at Arkansas with his one natty. Anybody made more money and had more hype around him than John Calipari. And Danny Hurley, who's got a couple of natties. Look, the best value in college hoop is Rick Pitino. I tell you that right now. Rick Pitino makes less than $2.5 million a year. He makes like $2.45 million a year at St. John's. Rick freaking Pitino. Everywhere he goes, he turns him into a winner. Guy's got 2 national championships. He's got national championships in 2 different places, right? Louisville and Kentucky. I mean, Rick Pitino. I mean, he gets a third of what Nate Oates is getting, for example. Why does Rick Pitino make less than half of what John Calipari makes? Think about it. And I have some fascinating numbers in front of me on what sports are making money in Tuscaloosa. And you'll be surprised at who loses the most money. It might surprise you a little bit. All right, over there on the other side of the glass, playing the Platters That Matter, the Stacks of Wax, picking the music today for the Throwback Thursday, throwing an elbow into Hollywood Hogan, who's definitely looking forward to Talladega this weekend. It's the one and only Grasshopper.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together on a spit and polish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
I have a sentimental weakness for my children, and I spoil them, as you can see. They talk when they should listen.
Give me back my son!
I don't like violence, Thom. I'm a businessman.
I'm telling you, there's an embarrassing press conference in that kid's future.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Do you hear the grasshopper, which is at your feet?
Old man, how is it that you hear these things?
Young man, how is it that you do not?
As quickly as you can, snatch the pebble from my hand. When you can take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave.
You know, I remember last year at this time, this is one of the more disappointing things that's ever happened in my particular lifetime, young man. But I remember last year at this time, I gave you tickets to Talladega. And you went down to Talladega, and you went to the, I don't know what you went to at Talladega.
Wait, hold up. You didn't give me tickets. I bought tickets.
No, you did not.
I did. From, I believe it was Bama. Well, it was one of the Bama listeners. I'm missing right now on the name, but I literally bought
I didn't give you tickets.
No, you didn't. You didn't give me.
I thought I gave you tickets.
The day you give me tickets is the day that you say you love me.
Oh, I thought I gave you tickets. All right, well, then I don't feel quite as bad about it because there are tickets I gave you. But you went to Talladega with your girlfriend and didn't go to the race. I mean, you hear this, Hollywood Hogan? I want you to hear this. This boy, a NASCAR fan, took his girl down there to Talladega. They went in the infield, and she complained about her feet hurt and she getting sunburned and everything else. And they didn't even stay for the race.
We partied like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, that's not what it's about. You go to Talladega. This is a bucket list race, man.
It wasn't even that good. We got home in time to watch majority
Talladega
of the race.
No, you don't go home and watch it on the TV when you got tickets. You go to the race, man.
I would have loved to, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to let her pass out due to heat exhaustion. I'm going to take her home.
Had a good, she had a car, didn't you? I mean, didn't you have a vehicle? Go sit in the vehicle.
It doesn't have air conditioning.
Yeah, that's.
But it probably would have been more comfortable than being out in the sun. But hey, every failure is a learning experience.
Yeah, I want to go, man. Has Hollywood been to Talladega? He must have gone to races at Talladega.
He has not. We should all get tickets real quick and go.
I'll hook you guys up for the fall race. Remind me about a month out so I can get the tickets.
4 tickets.
But I'll get you hooked up for the fall race. No, I'm just going to give you 2 tickets because if you take your girlfriend again, you're going to end up not going to the race.
It's at nighttime, though. It's a nighttime race, didn't fall.
Killing me. I was watching some film of old qualifying. It was like Dale Jr. qualifying at Talladega back in the early 2000s. It might have been 2005, 2006. This is a true story now. This is before they reduced the stands there when they had the backstretch and all that. They had the bigger grandstand there. The stands were 75% packed for qualifying. For qualifying, guys. That's what it used to look like. Jordan Bianchi's going to join us tomorrow. He's the motorsports writer from The Athletic to set it up. But I forgot. Qualifying. There was 70,000 people there for qualifying. For qualifying. That's the way they used to be. It's crazy. Let me knock a couple of phone calls off. Then I got the ultimate mock draft, which we'll get to because it is draft day. We start in order of the longest wait. Oh, we haven't heard from this guy in a minute. Paulie in the Cape, listening in Florida. Paulie, welcome to the show. How are you?
What's going on, Tom? How you doing?
I am fantastic.
And, you know, you got to love kids, and that's why lions eat their young, you know? I hear you.
Yes.
I hear you.
Yes. That's why lions eat their young, because they don't stay for the race.
Yeah. But anyways, so what do you got planned for the draft? What are you going to do tonight?
This is going to be a tough deal for me because Yankees Red Sox, which will be almost over. I mean, Yankees Red Sox, I think tonight is like 5:30, so I'm watching that if they go for the sweepage. Bruins and Sabres, I got to watch Bruins and Sabres. That's, I think, around 6:30 or so. Then the draft, these are Central Times. Then the draft starts, and I'll be bouncing around quite a bit. I may just record Bruins Sabres and watch that tonight at 10 o'clock when my wife falls asleep and watch the Yankees and then the draft.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
No?
You can watch everything because the Browns don't pick until 24. So you can watch
No, they pick
everything and relax. How do you even take a nap? Yeah.
The Browns pick at 6 and 24.
The 6 and 24.
They got
there it is.
6 and 24. Plus, it's not like I don't want to see what everybody else is picking. I want to see how it goes. I'm really interested in Caleb Downs and where that kid goes, because wherever Caleb Downs goes in the draft tonight is going to be too low.
Guess what I'm going to be doing tonight?
You're going to be watching. Well, you got no mind. The Dolphins don't even have a pick, do they?
They got 2 picks too. They got 11.
Oh, they got 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They got 11. Well, there you go. I'm seeing Caleb Downs potentially to the Dolphins. If Caleb Downs is on the board at 11, some people made some huge mistakes.
Yeah, but guess what I'll be doing tonight?
I don't know what.
I got invited to a VIP party in the War Room at the Dolphins facility. I'll be
get the heck out of there.
And I'll be one of the architects to parlay our 2 7th-round picks and a 5th-round pick into another 2nd-round pick, so we can really crush the draft tonight. And then we'll be partying on the water there in Fort Lauderdale with all the beautiful people. I'll show you pictures tonight when I'm there.
Absolutely, send me some pictures. So they have a deal where you can be a guest right in the war room, or outside in a right in the war room.
Right there. They're gonna be needing my information before they make the pick.
Are you pulling my leg? Because I got that childlike naivete.
I will show you pictures of the big party. Everything.
Yeah, but they're not going to let you take pictures inside. You're not going to be inside the war room. That doesn't make any sense.
The Dolphins facility, VIP access.
Yeah, but not in the war room. They don't want no fans.
I'm telling you.
You'll be out in it. You'll be in the facility somewhere. Yeah, I've been to that facility. I've broadcast from that facility. If it's the one in Davie, I don't know if they're still in Davie. I don't know where their facility is now, but years ago, I used to broadcast from there. Remember, we used to do the shows from there. I used to do like the whole week of when training camp opened. I would go there and do the shows from training camp, and just like I did in Nashville.
When you were, yeah. So do me a favor, if you could play my theme song of all the football music, the one with the French horns, That's my theme song right there. That's the best football song out of them all, is that one, with the French horns. Play that one for me. You know which one. Right. You played it before.
Okay. John, you know which one he's talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, I know which one. I know.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
He knows which one. It's the best one of them all. Come on.
It is. It's a good one.
Yeah. Well, don't hang up. I want to hear it before I get hung up on.
Well, we'll put you. I don't even know if they can put you back on hold. Do we have the ability to put somebody back on hold?
I can. Yeah, I can.
Oh, can you put him back on hold? Then I'll talk to.
He's on hold.
Crawdad. Let me talk to Crawdad. He's up next. Crawdad, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. How you doing? I got a quick, funny story from your yesterday. I couldn't get in, where you were talking about female announcers, and this is true. I heard it with my own 2 ears. back in the day when they were having issues with the Confederate statues, if you recall, ESPN removed an Asian announcer from basketball named Robert E. Lee. Do you remember that?
I remember that. That was the guy's name. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a guy called one of the ESPN shows, and he said one of the cleverest, funny lines I've ever heard. And he said, "Too bad the Confederacy didn't have a general named Beth Mowens." And I thought that was pretty damn funny.
Good stuff.
That's all I got, man.
I appreciate you.
And
I don't
didn't
remember.
know he was going to keep talking.
I don't remember what the circumstances were around that, but I do remember that they removed the guy. Robert E. Lee was his name, the broadcaster. I don't remember exactly how or why that happened, but Natty Danny is next. Dan, welcome in. How are you?
Oh, very well. I'm in my shop. Bought me a used Delta grinder. This thing has got half a horsepower. This thing's a monster. So I'm building a stand on wheels so I can roll it around in the shop. But, yeah, I've been real busy this morning, my man. But a couple things. First off, my wife just showed up in my hey, you're not supposed to be in my workshop, okay?
Is this a man cave, too?
It's a man cave, okay?
I've been in that shop, though. There's not you get the 2 years in there with your tools. There's not a lot of room left. I think my office is bigger than your shop.
I thought you were talking to somebody.
Did you hear that? He says that if we both are in the shop together, there's not enough room in here because there's too many tools.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a tool in here.
Yeah, he's a tool, all right.
Hey, couple things. I hope things go well with Philip. I hope he gets that windshield fixed. That's important. I always like to see somebody keep working. Working's good for you, man. It's good for the soul. Anyway, with that said, Tigers are 9-2 at home. You need to know that. I'll bought that right up to the bat. And I don't think Michigan wants DeBose. We don't want DeBose.
Yeah, they wanted him. That was their number one choice. They wanted DeBose bad, and then they couldn't get DeBose. Yeah, they couldn't get DeBose because why would you leave Alabama for Michigan?
Basketball can't hold Dusty May's jockstrap. You know that. Come on.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Let's see. I know they won a championship with a bunch of guys from other schools. I get that, but let's see how many times. See what they look like next year.
Hey, that's how. Oh, they'll be. They reloaded, bro. Hey, listen, that's how it works in these days. It's NIL and the transfer portal. You know that. It's just the way it is. And if you don't get on board like the Big Ten has, that's why we're dominating. You're going to lose, dude. Mm-hmm. Period.
Well, I know because they certainly can't grow any players up there. They got to go get them from someplace.
But it's reality, bro. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's all I got.
Appreciate you.
Talk to you later, bro.
Michigan absolutely wanted Kayla DeBoer. Absolutely wanted Kayla DeBoer. No doubt about it. They wanted Kayla DeBoer. All right, let's get a break in here. When we come back, we're talking about mock drafts for months now, right? Well, I think I've got the ultimate mock draft in front of me now, and I'll share it with you next here on the Thom Abraham Show.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Now, Jimmy, you better not be eating that baseball again.
But, Dad, I yearn for the sweet taste of the sport. This is the best that I got.
Well, then, put down that ball and let's head over to the yard for something a little less rubber-y.
Don't eat your glove this season. Take advantage of our Big Zone deals and head on over to the Yard Milkshake Barn right outside of Toyota Field, where you'll find sweet treats like the Biscoff Cheesecake, Sweet Heat Mango, Shirley Temple Floats, and so many more. It's the Yard Milkshake Barn. Make this summer a home run hit.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
At Kern Electrical, we're more than just a Generac generator dealer. We're your partners in ensuring your home or business never loses power, especially when it matters most. Call 256-880-1880 today or visit gensuperstore.com for reliable power solutions that work when you need them most.
Most current way to keep your power on. GeneracSuperstore.com.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Introducing the Golfus, Huntsville's newest, nicest, and only multi-location indoor golf venue. Play over 2,000 courses with state-of-the-art simulator technology, perfect for golfers of all skill levels. For a limited time, grab an unlimited membership for just $99 a month, or book with our grand opening pricing. It's the best value in Huntsville. Check us out at thegolfus.com.
AL cert number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are our grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490 or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by the Docs at TOC. You know, I'm always talking about these people that I've known and trusted in the Tennessee Valley for over 20 years. Well, my buddy Tom Perkins and the Docs at TOC certainly fit that description. And when my own family has needed an orthopedic specialist, TOC was the only call to make. There is a reason why almost all the schools in the region use TOC, because they are trusted and they provide the kind of care people need. TOC is the orthopedic center. It's right there in the name, and they're right there when you need them. Now, welcome back to Tom Abraham Show. Good stuff right there, man. The London Philharmonic, who did all that NFL films, music. Do you know what song he's talking about, John? With the horns and everything else?
It's this song
I think
right
I
here.
know, but this one?
This is the da-da, 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 da-da. Yeah, it's this one.
Oh, okay. All right. That's his theme song. He said he's got a theme song. So that's his theme song. If I had a theme song, my theme song would be Freebird. I think that would have to be my theme song if I had a theme song. Since Dan brought it up, since he introduced baseball He conveniently left out the fact the Tigers are 9-2 at home. He conveniently left out the fact that they're 4-10 on the road. 4-10 on the road, but they are now just a half a game behind the Cleveland Guardians. But as we enter play today, John, do you know who has the best record in all of Major League Baseball?
Who's that?
It would be the Atlanta Braves. Now that the Dodgers lost 2 in a row, it would be the Atlanta Braves at 17-8 off of their win last night. The Braves now in Washington, where the stadium is empty. I don't know what's going on. I mean, the Nationals haven't been back. Baseball hasn't been back in Washington, D.C. that long. They built a beautiful stadium there. They've won a World Series. They act like they're a small market team. They couldn't hang on to the Juan Soto or Max Scherzer or people like that. But they got this beautiful stadium there. And look at the highlights of the Braves and the Nationals. I mean, it is empty in that stadium. But the Braves get the win there, and they move to 17-8. The Dodgers have dropped 2 straight and are now 16-8. So the Braves have a half a game leg up on the Dodgers right now. Shohei Ohtani pitched again last night. 6 innings of scoreless baseball again with this guy. Now they lose the game because he goes out of the game and then they get beat 3-0 because their offense has been anemic. He's been anemic offensively. He's only hitting .258 with 5 home runs and 11 RBI. But he pitched another 6 innings of scoreless ball last night. His ERA now in his 4 starts, his ERA is 0.38. 0.38. That's his ERA as a pitcher. But he was 0 for 4 last night hitting. Now, remember last week he pitched. When he pitched last week, he didn't bat. He might as well have not have batted last night if he's going to go 0 for 4. And I'm a proponent of, I don't think he should hit on the nights that he's pitching. Not that it affected his pitching to go 0 for 4, but be interesting to see. I mean, this could just be a blip. This could just be a little bit of a blip. There's a lot of great players that are off to slow starts in terms of average and things like that. I don't know what impact NIL is, having on that. But I will say this, speaking to the empty ballpark, I just want to say this. In baseball, we wax poetic about the good old days, and they talk about when baseball was the premium sport in the 50s and everything else, and how huge baseball was in America, and then football bypassed it and everything else. I don't want facts to get in the way of a good story, okay? Because let me tell you what the facts are. Baseball's attendance has never been higher. Baseball's attendance as a percentage of capacity has never been higher. And this is a true story. Listen to what I'm telling you. Pay attention to this, John. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm reading the book on the Mickey Mantle and Billy Martin, and it was talking about a Friday game in New York in May of 1952, 1953, somewhere in there. A May game on a Friday. It was 7,100 people in the stands. Now, Old Yankee Stadium held 74,000 people. Old Yankee Stadium was massive. Then they renovated it in 73, 74, brought the attendance down to about 54,000. Then they built the new Yankee Stadium, the house that Jeter built, and that holds like under 50. I think 48, 49,000, something like that. But the Yankee Stadium of the 50s, where the New York Giants football team played and so on, the Yankee Stadium of the 50s held 74,000 people. It was massive. They had 7,100 people at the game. The day that Roger Maris hit his 61st home run to surpass Babe Ruth. Okay? The day, can you imagine this, John? Think about this for a minute. A record, Babe Ruth's home run record. You had a guy pursuing Babe Ruth's home run record. All right? The day that Roger Maris broke the record in Yankee Stadium, there was 22,000 people at the game. 22,000 people. 10,000 of them were sitting in right field bleachers to catch the ball. There was 22,000 people. Can you imagine right now if somebody was, if Aaron Judge was on 71 home runs and he was, he was chasing down Barry Bonds' PED-fueled home run record? Can you imagine every single game he played at every single stadium would be completely sold out? You could not get a ticket. Roger Maris hit 61 to beat Babe Ruth's record of 60 home runs in 1961, and it was 22,000 people at the game. In 1967, the Red Sox miracle year, I think, and I may be making this up, you can put the crack research team on it, I think Carl Yastrzemski actually won the Triple Crown in 1967. But it was a huge year for the Red Sox, and I think the Cardinals maybe end up winning the World Series that year, but the Boston Red Sox, who had been down for a few years, had this miracle season where they won the pennant. Opening day, Fenway Park. Opening day, Fenway Park, 1967. There was less than 8,000 people at the game. Less than 8,000 people. So when you tell me about the good old, baseball, I don't want to hear it, okay? TV ratings are up. Attendance is higher than ever. Higher than ever. And then the other story that's been floating around in the last couple of days is about the issue of the Yankee tradition. The Yankees have just thrown all the tradition away because Major League Baseball has approved a third jersey for the Yankees. The players want to wear that blue batting jersey with the gray numbers on, with the gray New York on there and the gray numbers on the back with the white piping around it. And people are looking at this, well, there you go. There's just more tearing down the tradition of the Yankees. Now the Yankees, next thing you know, this isn't a City Connect uniform. This is their blue batting practice. It's the jersey they wear in spring training. It's actually kind of cool. I like it. And I'm a traditionalist. I'm cool with it. And they're like, well, first we let the beards come in. Well, they should be neatly cropped beards like the one that your host has and the one that the Grasshopper has. And I'm not sure that Hollywood can grow one yet. They should be tightly cropped and neat beards. But let me tell you something. People talk about, this is the beginning of the end. I can't believe the Yankees are allowing the facial hair and all this stuff. You know, that rule just came in 1976. That was a George Steinbrenner thing in 1976. And I know that 76 is 50 years ago. I get that. But the New York Yankees were they won 7 World Series in the 50s. Out of 10 years, they won 7 World Series. There was no facial hair policy back then. The New York Yankees have been the New York Yankees since they opened Yankee Stadium. The stadium's not named after the team. The team's named after the stadium. Remember, they were the New York Highlanders. And you know what they wore when they were the New York Highlanders? An all-blue uniform. Blue top, blue pants. So they were the New York Highlanders. Yankee Stadium was built in 21, 22, something like that, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, somewhere in there. They move in there. And they become the New York Yankees because they play at Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium's not named after the Yankees. The Yankees are named after Yankee Stadium. And then they went all nuts because Aaron Judge was the one that asked for the uniform change on their road grays where they went away from the white piping. And I'm reading a story about some guy saying about how, tradition down the tubes because Aaron Judge asked for the uniform to be changed and take the white piping away from the numbers and the lettering on the gray uniform. That went back to the tradition. That's what they wore for 100 years. And when they won all those World Series in the 50s and the 60s and everything else, that was their uniform. That whole thing of adding the white trim, that happened in like the 70s. That wasn't. They were actually going back to tradition. People go nuts on that stuff. Don't get it mixed up. Just win baseball games. That's all. Win baseball games. All right. This was sent to me from my oldest son, a knuckle dog, morning show host at ESPN Winchester here. And, John, I don't know if you saw this. This is the final official 2026 NFL mock draft. Okay? This deserves a little bit of... Throw a little bit in it. Are you ready, John? I'm going to run them down.
Go for it.
Number 1 overall pick, Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders. Number 2, by the Jets. They select a guy that will never win a playoff game. Number 3, the Cardinals. They select an elite talent that will become irrelevant. Number 4, the Titans pick is a generational running back that won't win anything in Tennessee. Number 5, the Giants select a good player that Joe Schoen eventually gets rid of, the GM there. Number 6, the Browns will select some help for their Pro Bowl quarterback, Shadur Sanders. Yeah, he's a Pro Bowler. When nobody else wants to go, he's a Pro Bowler. Number 7, the Washington Commanders take someone that'll be on the IR by week 5. At 9, the Kansas City Chiefs select a criminal. At number 10, the Giants select a box of crayons for Cam Scattaboo. At number 12, the Dallas Cowboys select some bleeping defense. At 13, the Rams select a new brain for Puka Nacua. At 14, the Ravens will take someone to help blow more leads. The Lions at 17 take a new offensive coordinator to carry Dan Campbell's. Number 19, the Carolina Panthers select some stilts for Bryce Young. At 20, the Dallas Cowboys take more bleeping defense. At number 23, the Philadelphia Eagles select a Georgia Bulldog. At number 24, the Cleveland Browns select another terrible quarterback. At number 26, the Buffalo Bills select someone to help Josh Allen choke in the playoffs. At number 29, the Kansas City Chiefs select the referees from 2024. At number 30, the Dolphins select a refund on Tua's contract. Number 31, the Patriots select another home wrecker from Mike Vrabel. All right, so there you go, John. That's the ultimate mock draft, all right? I thought it was good. I mean, come on. It was funny. You guys don't think it was funny? I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. No. A little bit hilarious. All right, we'll get a break in. We'll come back. Phone lines are open if you want to jump on board. Got some other news to get into as well. It's the Thom Abraham Show. Back with more right after this.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Alabama Crimson Tide baseball today on the road at Tennessee. The Crimson Tide, the plus 105 underdog against the Vols, minus 135 in Knoxville. Atlanta Braves 8-6 over the Nationals yesterday. The Braves rallied from 3 runs down for the victory. They have won 7 of 8. They wrapped the series today as a $1.49 favorite at Nationals Park. 9 over the total. Braves back at home tomorrow to open up a weekend series with the Philadelphia Phillies. Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, 10 10-1 with the Jack Links 500 at Talladega Sunday. William Byron 11-1. Tyler Reddick 12-1. Kyle Larson 14-1. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care. No appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
When you're craving a juicy, made-to-order burger with all your favorite toppings, it's time to head to Five Guys Burgers and Fries. Fresh, never-frozen, hand-formed patties, crispy, fresh-cut fries, savory hot dogs, and topped off with an ice-cold real milkshake. Five Guys knows what you like. Come and get it in Huntsville on North Parkway and on Enterprise, and in Madison on Moonshot Drive and Highway 72. Order online at fiveguys.com or just walk in. Five Guys. Perfection every time.
Have you tried indoor golf yet? You need to check out The Golfus. The Golfus is Huntsville's newest, nicest, and only multi-location indoor golf venue. Spend an hour on the virtual range working on your game or play more than 2,000 golf courses. Our grand opening pricing makes us the best value in town. And if you really love it, grab a limited time, unlimited golf membership for only $99 a month. Get all of the details at thegolfus.com.
You can now do more without it costing you more. Alabama's attractions have come together to offer the all-in-one ticket that downloads to your mobile device. No matter how many attractions listed on the ticket you see during the time span you bought, your price stays the same. Pick the right ticket option that best fits your schedule, and then enjoy more attractions without spending more. All-in-one tickets for different areas of Alabama are available at alabama.travel and other places where online tickets are sold. Brought to you by Alabama Tourism Department, the ABA, and this station.
Hey, brother. Saw you called.
John, I've been thinking about our days during the war, and
I'm on my way.
Thanks, man.
If you are a veteran struggling with depression, anxiety, or need someone to talk to, call 800-273-8255. Press 1. It's private and free 24/7. Call 800-273-8255 or visit vetsforhope.com. Sponsored by the partners of Alabama's Challenge and the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the lower 80s, dropping into the upper 50s as we head into the overnight. More cloud cover for your Friday. It looks like some showers and thunderstorms are going to move in Friday afternoon into the evening. That activity will stick with us as we head into the overnight. Maybe some stronger thunderstorms with some gusty winds and very heavy rain. Upper 70s on Friday, mid 70s on Saturday.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental. And they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the exact machine for you. Now, whether it's new construction or daily work environments or an area that's been neglected for far too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you get the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Call Valley Equipment and ask them for more details on how they can help you out today. Yeah, welcome back to Thom Abraham Show. God, they keep changing the weather forecast. Now they're talking about pretty good rain, I guess. Are they talking about Friday night into Saturday? Because Friday during the day is not bad, right? I'm asking for a friend. There's no rain on Friday. according to my weather app. Rain rolls in Saturday early in the morning. Now they're saying it's going to rain till 10 o'clock. Great. Just enough to get soaked during the tournament. Casting and catching tournament at Gunnersville. All right, welcome back. It is, of course, draft day. We've got Jeff Diamond coming up at the top of the hour. A lot of the mock drafts out there have it. And look, this is a pretty good class of offensive tackles. They've got the kid from Miami, Francis Moegoa, who is a big offensive tackle. A lot of people like him to go first. Spencer Fanu, the offensive tackle from Utah, he's getting a lot of love. As well as a guy that can go very, very high. But Caden Proctor's name keeps popping as well. I've seen Caden Proctor as high as number 6 to the Browns, and I have seen him as low as maybe 15, 20, 25, somewhere in there. See him at 17 to the Lions. All I would say about that is this. I would be careful with another tackle from Alabama. Alabama's had some great tackles in college that have not panned out, that have been high picks in the NFL. In fact, if you look at this century, which is a lot now we're a quarter of the way in. We're 25 years into this century. So Chris Samuels was the number 3 overall pick. These are the first round offensive tackles selected out of Alabama since the turn of the century. Chris Samuels, number 3 overall to the Washington Redskins, was outstanding for 10 years. Borderline Hall of Famer. He's not a Hall of Famer. Borderline, though. He 3 times All-Pro. Very good. 2009, Andre Smith is drafted. I watched him play in high school at Huffman. I think he played at Huffman. Maybe I might have made that up. He was number 6 overall to the Bengals. He hung around for a long time, but he never really was the road grader that he was at Alabama. In 2019, these are all Nick Saban tackles. Number 11 overall, the Cincinnati Bengals take Jonah Williams. Again, a guy, he was drafted, top 11 pick. And really hasn't done anything. Done very little. Already, he's been bouncing around. And 2020 at number 10 overall, the Browns took Jedrick Wills Jr. They cut him last year. Didn't pick up his option for his 5th year, and nobody else signed him. Am I lying? John, is Jedrick Wills on anybody's roster? I don't think he is. And then maybe the biggest bust of all, the next year, the Raiders, number 17 overall, they took Alex Leatherwood. And he was awful, out of the game. The Giants took Evan Neal, number 7 overall, in 2022. He's a guard now. He's a serviceable player. He's been okay. And then the Titans 2 years ago took J.C. Latham, who's also, I think, a guard now. Or he's been back and forth between guard and tackle. They took him number 7 overall. J.C. Latham, he's got a shot, but he hasn't been great yet. He's been a starter. Take a tackle with a grain of salt out of Alabama.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and we're making room for new shipments during our spring clean-out at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. With your good credit, save thousands with 3.9% financing for up to 84 months on new 25 F-150s with STX 4x4s starting at under $44,000. New 25 Explorers start at under $36,000, or choose 2.9% for up to 84 months. Get 5.9% financing for up to 84 months on new 25 Broncos, or choose $2,750 customer cash plus 2-year 24,000-mile complimentary maintenance. And while they last, new 25 Bronco Sports come with your choice of $2,500 customer cash or 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. And there's never any hidden markups or dock fees. Don't miss your chance to save big with spring clean-out pricing on all new 25s. We hope to see you real soon at Lynn Layton Ford, right in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline in Decatur, or online anytime at lynnlaytonford.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It is Thursday, April the 23rd, 2026. Steve Moulton here with your update. The 91st annual meeting of the National Football League franchises to select newly eligible players begins tonight in Western Pennsylvania. The Raiders franchise has the first overall pick for just the second time in the Common Era draft. In 2007, the Raiders selected LSU quarterback Jamarcus Russell. In high school baseball, the state baseball playoff tournaments begin today. 6A matchups include Hazel Green and Athens, Coleman and Southside, and Buckhorn takes on Hartselle. In Major League Baseball,
Suarez back to work. First pitch swinging. Fly ball to deep center. Michael Harris is under it. He will squeeze it. And the Braves win it 8-6 here in Washington.
That was the final call from the Atlanta Braves radio network. The Rocket City Trash Pandas fell in extra innings to Biloxi 6-5. That series continues tonight on Talk Radio WZZN.
This segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by the Golf Fest, Huntsville's newest, coolest, and only multi-location indoor golf venue where you bring your own gear. Use the Golf Fest to play over 2,000 courses from around the world, including that one in Georgia that kicks off the majors. Plus, the Golf Fest is a great place to dial in your game or have an office event or private party. Their third location in the Valley is coming to Hughes Road in Madison soon. Visit thegolfist.com for more info. That's GOLFFICE, thegolfist.com.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my elbow.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here. And welcome in. It's a Throwback Thursday in the Doghouse. It is a draft day in the Doghouse as well. We are serenading you throughout the show with throwback music. We're using classic NFL Films music throughout the show today. And the draft obviously is the first thing on everybody's mind. A lot of other things to cover as well, but we do welcome in a new audience listening on Nashville Sports Radio in Nashville and in Murfreesboro to go along with our friends listening in Huntsville on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and, of course, ESPN Winchester and WCDT there in Winchester as well. And if you're going to talk draft, I mean, this is it's such a treat for us to have Jeff Diamond, a guy who has worked at various levels, including as a GM, NFL Executive of the Year, a team president with the Titans, to be able to talk to him about what today is like and to really pull the curtain back with him is a great thing to do. And he joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, also joining us as well on WZZN TV. Jeff, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, Tom, I'm great. How are you doing?
I am fantastic, and it's finally here. We've been doing mock drafts and talking about mock drafts, breaking down stuff, forever. Let me start there. For you guys, and it wasn't as prevalent back in the day as it is now, of course, with the internet, and there's hundreds of them out there. But when you were a GM, you were an assistant GM before you were a GM, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes. So you had been in this situation as assistant GM, as a GM, and of course as a team president. Do any of those guys ever even look at any of the mock drafts? I mean, they all say no, they poo-poo it all. But do you kind of look at that stuff and just see what people are saying?
Well, sure. Yeah, you kind of take a peek, and back in the day when I first started as an assistant GM, there was maybe one mock draft. It was Kuiper. That was about it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, things have changed dramatically. Even going back to my early years in working like in operations with the Vikings and PR, we used to have about two people show up at the media room. It was basically the two beat guys for the Minneapolis St. Paul papers, and now today there's hundreds of people in the media rooms, all kinds of websites covering teams, and it's just changed so dramatically. Obviously the on-site draft now with the fans showing up in Pittsburgh this year, Green Bay, Detroit, Chicago, all the places that they've been and had 250,000 people plus Philly and whatever. So the draft has just changed unbelievably as far as attention, as far as everything. And even from a team executive standpoint, or even working with a team, when I first started out, there were 17 rounds, Tom, and it got really tedious. I got to tell you. And even when you knew who the players were, you had to kind of slap yourself awake when you got into about the 11th or 12th rounds. So it was a happy day when we went down to 8 rounds and then finally to 7 rounds where they are today, even though it's really more like an 8 with the compensatory picks. But yeah, the draft certainly has changed dramatically and had a lot of great memories. I love the draft, but I didn't love so much the later rounds.
Yeah, well, I think they would go 17, then it's 12 for a while.
Yes.
And then to 8 and 7 now. And like you say, with the compensatories, there's about 8 rounds worth of picks that are in there. And they first took the show on the road. It was Nashville, right? I mean, and it was it's, hundreds of thousands of people that showed up. And then, records have been broken over and over again. They're anticipating 500,000 people tonight in downtown Pittsburgh for this. And it's ludicrous. I mean, they've had a countdown clock on ESPN since it was 80 hours away, and they're just counting it down on a regular basis. And I'm trying to think, I mean, it goes to how much people love the NFL because you can't see, if you're 500,000 people, if you're back, and there's like maybe, I don't know, 400,000 people in front of you, you're not seeing anything. There's nothing going on that you can see. And I can't believe why anybody would show up to, they used to show up at the Radio City Music Hall and be in the rafters, and that was fun. But why people show up to watch players get selected? I mean, it's a phenomenon that doesn't make any sense, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's really true. And I remember back in the day, even Pete Rozelle as commissioner, he was resisting moving the draft to different sites and even having it televised at first. Like, why would anybody want to watch the draft? And we never could have envisioned the combine being televised, pro days, all the attention on those events. And it just, as I said, it's just changed dramatically, but it still comes down to making the best choices for teams and trying to identify players that can help you, but also respecting your draft board, respecting your grades, and the teams that make mistakes are the teams that go hard on needs and pass up a potentially great player. And as you and I have talked before, my philosophy always was don't pass up a potentially great player to take a good player at a position of need in those first couple rounds. Maybe later you might look more at needs and try to fill out the roster, but early on, you better be careful. And the other thing I always was cautioned on early in my career by Bud Grant, Jerry Reichoff, Frank Gilliam in Minnesota, be careful about trading down. And I know the Titans are one of the teams they're talking about maybe making a trade down. Don't trade down very far. If you're the Titans from 4, only maybe go a couple of spots. If you've got several players, if you have graded approximately equal and you could pick up an extra second or third round pick, then yeah, it can make sense. But teams make big mistakes sometimes when they trade out of the first round or way down in the first round. And I remember early in my career with the Vikings, and it was before I became an assistant GM, but we had traded out of the 18th spot in the first round for number 2 picks. And we chose Marty McDowell. I think he was out of Mississippi State, and Jarvis Redwine, a running back. McDowell was a wide receiver. Jarvis Redwine, a running back from Nebraska, and they both had about 3 career games, about 5 minutes in the league, and we passed up Howie Long. We passed up some really great potential players. How about passing up Mike Singletary to take Marty McDowell?
Yeah. Well, and this is an extremely top-heavy draft by most accounts as well, so you wouldn't want to go too far down. The other unique thing about this draft is the two players that could be the 2 best players, really, in this draft are a running back and a safety. And those are not positions that you typically would take in the top 10 picks necessarily, and that you would have to then pay that kind of money to when you look at the positional money that is paid. But Jeremiah Love is a 3-down back. A lot of people like him to the Titans at 4. That is a 3-down back. I don't know when the last time we had a back. I mean, I guess you had to go back to Edgerrin James and Ricky Williams, but guys like that to have a back pick that high, a top 5 guy.
Saquon Barkley.
But he where was he picked? Wasn't he 6?
I think he was like 2 or 3 or somewhere like that by the Giants. He was way up there.
Guys, and see, I thought he was outside the top 5, but check that guy. See when Saquon Barkley was picked. But there's another good example, a 3-down back that helps a team win a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. And the other one is Caleb Downs as a safety, the quarterback of the defense. He is incredible in the meetings. He performed, he was the leading tackler as a freshman at Alabama. He goes on, becomes the leading tackler at Ohio State, wins national championship. This is a guy that's got great pelts on the wall for sure. And you were right, Jeff, 2nd overall for Saquon Barkley. So there's one. But you don't generally take a safety that high. But this is a guy, this is a Troy Polamalu guy. This is a guy that you plug in for the next 10 years. And he's so smart when he has had meetings with the various teams that he's met with, he has basically gone over their defense with them. And he would study up on their defense and know their nomenclature and know a bunch of different things and so on. Caleb Downs is an absolute stud. Jeremiah Love is an absolute stud. But these are positions that you don't usually pay, top 10 kind of money to. But they're great.
Yeah, but I think your point is well made that if it's a 3-down back where he's very productive in the passing game, such as Saquon Barkley, such as Bijan Robinson, who I think went 9th overall to Atlanta, then those guys are a little different. And I think that they are guys that you can justify making that high pick for. And their salaries generally aren't going to get that high. So it may be cost effective in the final analysis to get an all pro like a Caleb Downs, like a Kyle Hamilton a couple of years ago at
Yeah.
12 by the Ravens when the Vikings traded out of that spot, and they wish they had Kyle Hamilton today and traded down and took Lewis Steen out of Georgia, which was a disaster. And he's not, I don't think he's even in the league anymore. And so, yeah, you got to be careful. But I think a safety that is versatile and can play, for example, slot corner. Think about a guy like Thieneman out of Oregon, ran a 4.37 at the combine. He's a guy that you can plug in as a slot corner and cover receivers and take them downfield and whatever. Those guys are a little different than the pure safeties in the box or whatever, or even a deep safety. So I can understand Caleb Downs. I can understand Thieneman, that Dallas is interested in maybe at whatever 12, the Vikings at 18. He's going to be a top 20 pick. Caleb Downs probably going to be a top 10 pick. And those guys are just really talented athletes that you can move them all over your defense. And a guy like Brian Flores here in Minnesota, he figured that out with Harrison Smith and with other players. And so I think it's going to be fun to watch this draft to see what happens with some of those guys and what's going to happen with some of the defensive tackles that some people think may even fall out of the first round. But there's a talented group there. I don't think they're going to fall out of the first round, but who knows? And the receivers too. I mean, even Tate, what he ran like a 4.5 something. Well, big deal. So did Jerry Rice.
Yeah, right. Well, you also have some offensive tackles that are going to go too. There's some highly thought of offensive tackles in this group. Jeff Diamond with us here. All right, so let's pull back the curtain for a minute because you've been the assistant GM, you've been the GM, you have been the president, the team president in Nashville. Who is in the room? I mean, the assistant GM's in the room, the GM's in the room, the coach is in the room. Are there other coaches in the room? Is it just the director of scouting, or is there a bunch of scouts in the room? Is the owner in the room, depending on where you're at? Just kind of take us through the dynamic of what the quote-unquote war room is like on draft day.
Yeah, I think it varies by the team. When I was in Minnesota, we did not have coaches in the room other than the head coach. And when I was in Tennessee, we had the coordinators in the room, and the other coaches were right down the hall, very available. But all the scouts, every scout was there in both places. They were all there. And at the time, the scouting staff's maybe not quite as big as they are today, but the draft rooms are also bigger today. And so the scouts were always there. And the owner was not there. Maybe they popped in once in a while. I don't think Bud Adams was ever at any of our drafts, but he was certainly on the phone talking to.
Did you have to call him? Or in that case, now Floyd Reese was the GM.
Yes.
The president. How involved? Because you made the picks in Minnesota, I would imagine, right? As GM,
yes.
You were the final word there. So let's go back to that for a minute. In Minnesota, you had Dennis Green most of your time that you were there.
Yeah. With Denny was the head coach when I was a GM, and when I was assistant GM, then Jerry Burns was the head coach, and Bud Grant at the end of his career. So yeah, I was in the room in those days, and as I said, we did not have the coaches there, but our owners. We had 10 owners in Minnesota at the time. So the principal owner, he was there because he had the title of president, but the other owners were not there. And as I said, Bud was not there, but we kept him informed, but we didn't call him before we made a pick. Now, supposedly after I left the Titans, Bud may have weighed in on the Vince Young pick, but I can't vouch for that because I wasn't there then. But I'm sure that Floyd at the time probably was not excited to get a call from Bud and say, "Hey, you better take that quarterback from Texas."
Right. But when you were the GM and you were making the pick, how much influence does Dennis Green have on it? Do you guys just your two hearts that beat as one? All that work is done ahead of time before the draft, but when you're actually making the pick, is it how much are you conferring with your head coach at that particular point in time when it was Denny Green?
Yeah, I think it very, very much so. He was very involved with personnel in terms of studying the college players and going to the combine and so forth and Senior Bowl. So Denny was very involved. I would say back in Minnesota, Jerry Burns not quite as much, but certainly very clued in on what was going on. But Denny very involved, and so was Jeff Fisher in Tennessee, of course. Even though Floyd would have basically the final say, and I would be involved with Floyd in those decisions. But it truly, I think that the head coach has to be involved. They have to have buy-in. You don't want to have a situation where the coach is not tied in with the pick, and I think that's where teams get in trouble if they don't have that synchronization, so to speak. And so yeah, I remember, for example, one of our really kind of big discussions in our draft room was back when in the 99 draft, and it was my last draft in Minnesota, and we were looking for a quarterback. Randall Cunningham was getting older. We had traded Brad Johnson, and we had a team that went 15-1 the year before, and there were a bunch of quarterbacks in that draft. That was the McNabb draft and Couch and all those guys, and so we ended up taking Dante Culpepper at 11. But there was a big sentiment in our draft room to take Javon Curse. And so the kind of the funny story out of it is that we end up taking Culpepper because we felt we needed a quarterback for the future. But there were a lot of our personnel people that were heavily on board for Javon. And so immediately after we made that pick, I got on the phone with Floyd and I said, hey, we want to trade up to 16. We were towards the end of the first round. We had a second first round pick. We want to trade up. And Floyd said, well, there's a guy we really like, and if he's there, we're going to take him. And I kept on the phone with Floyd, kept calling him back. And we got to 16. He said, no, there's a guy we like. And we kind of figured it was the same guy. And there went Javon to the Titans. And a month later, my contract is up, and I end up taking the offer from the Titans to move to Tennessee as the president. First thing I said to Floyd was, thank you for not making that trade. Because all Javon did was be defensive rookie of the year and help us go to the Super Bowl.
It's funny because Bill Cowher was on the Dan Patrick show this morning, and Dan asked him, what's your biggest regret in the draft? And he said, passing on Javon Curse, when the Steelers passed on him. So he said basically the same thing, was that they, unable to get their hands on Javon Curse. So now when you're at Tennessee, now you're the president, Floyd's a GM, Jeff is always going to have a voice. There's no doubt about that. How much, you went from being the last word in Minnesota to being a word in Tennessee, but how much influence or input did you have on draft picks at Tennessee? Was that, did they even bother running it by you, or was it a triumvirate? How did that work?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was definitely very involved talking with Floyd because I had been doing the drafting and being very involved with the draft for 20 years or so. And a big part of my role was also being on the phone with teams, talking trades and trading up, trading down, whatever the case may be. And so that was a big part of it too. And Floyd was part of that process also. So we certainly worked together. But in that situation where Floyd was the GM, I really kind of delegated that to him to make that final call in that situation, because I felt like he had been studying those players for 2 years, and I'd been running the football side, the business side, doing contracts with Floyd, running the stadium, a lot of different hats I was wearing. And I felt like that had to be the role of the GM to make that final call. And that's kind of how we structured it there. And a little different than obviously what I had done in Minnesota, but also kind of had an interesting story. You talk about kind of favorite draft picks of mine. And certainly I think you and I have talked about this before, the Randy Moss pick in 1998, the year before I went to Tennessee. And again, the Titans kind of part of that process, because we were very happy in Minnesota when they passed on Randy and took Kevin Dyson, who was a very good player for us in Tennessee, but not a Pro Football Hall of Famer, one of the greatest receivers of all time, which was the case with Randy Moss. And I think the Titans and Floyd at the time were a little scared off on Randy character-wise, some of the issues that he'd had in college, had been kicked out of Florida State for some alleged failing drug tests and had a bad high school fight in West Virginia that got him his scholarship revoked at Notre Dame. And so we never thought Randy Moss would fall to us at 21. We were a playoff team and we were looking for defense. We had Chris Carter and Jake Reed, but when Randy was starting to fall and he got past the Titans, we thought, whoa, we have a chance to get this guy. And I got on the phone with Chris Carter, our all-pro receiver. I said, Chris, if we draft Randy, will you help mentor him? And Chris said, absolutely. I know what kind of talent he is, and we can go three wides and be the best offense in the NFL. And that was prophetic because that's exactly how it turned out.
Yeah, and of course he does end up with the Titans at the end of his career and famously catches, I think, 7 passes for $3.4 million. And then
right.
Anymore. That was for sure. All right, so what's the other end of the spectrum? A pick that you regret, that you made that, to this day you kind of regret.
Well, I think there were a few situations I mentioned when the Vikings traded down, but I hadn't been running the draft at that point. I felt after that, never trade out of the first round. And yeah, I mean, there were some players that we took over time. I remember for example, in Tennessee, Andre Woolfolk, we took him, the 2003 draft towards the end of the first round, but he ends up being just a very mediocre player at best as a first round pick. And so I think Floyd and I regretted that pick, for example. But then again, you look at what the draft is, and there are going to be hits and misses. You just better have a lot more hits and misses. And I think where the fans dismiss the draft too much is in those later rounds, because there are so many late round steals that end up in the Hall of Fame. And I'm talking, obviously, the poster child for that is Tom Brady in the 6th round by the Patriots, Shannon Sharp in the 7th round out of Savannah State or something. Who else there? I mean, there are just so many.
Even Brock Purdy. I mean,
Brock Purdy, a great example a couple of years ago. And just you can't dismiss those guys. Richard Dent out of Tennessee State, 8th round pick by the Bears, ends up a Super Bowl MVP, a Hall of Famer. And so I think oftentimes those players come out of the smaller schools. Yeah. But today the draft process is so much better and so much more in depth that those kind of players would not slip as far as they did back in the day.
Yeah, Ernest Biner was a 12th round pick out of East Carolina and had a wonderful career, as well, and then ended up mentoring another East Carolina running back, Chris Johnson, at the at the Titans. All right, finally, you mentioned your responsibilities when you got to Tennessee, the stadium, and everything else. You were there when Nissan Stadium opened, then as Adelphia Coliseum. They're going to put a ball on that thing here in the not too distant future. I mean, can we get you back down to Nashville for the day the wrecking ball hits that stadium, or what? I mean,
good old Adelphia Coliseum, and I have a lot of great memories. I don't think we lost a game there for about the first 12 games we played there.
Right.
And I remember coming home the night we beat the Jaguars in Jacksonville to go to the Super Bowl, and there were 50,000 people at Adelphia Coliseum, and it was about 40 degrees, and had a great welcoming home celebration as we were going to the Super Bowl that year. So certainly great memories of that. I guess I'll probably watch it on YouTube or something, or on TV, but maybe I'll come down for it. Who knows?
Come on down, set the charge, man. Let's knock the stadium down.
I'll come down if we can go play golf somewhere, Tom.
Yeah. There you go. Hopefully they're knocking it down when the weather's warm. It was built in record time. It was like an erector set. They threw that thing together so fast because they needed to get into a home, and then that's how that all worked out. As well.
Hey, by the way, can the NHL stop starting playoff games at 8:50 p.m. in Central Time zones like last night? When the Wild and the Dallas Stars went to double overtime, and I was up till 1 a.m. watching that game, and the Wild got beat in double overtime.
I tried to make it through the Oilers game, which is even later, out west, and I couldn't make it through the third period of that one. But my teams, they're playing in the East, so I'm lucky. Like the Bruins tonight will drop the puck at like 6, so that's
a good thing compared to 8:50, definitely.
Yeah, definitely not a good thing. By the way, did you hear the comments that Dan Patrick says he's got it on very, very good sources, insider sources, that the Super Bowl will be in Nashville 2030, that the 2030 Super Bowl will be in Nashville. Who'd have thought? They always used to say, even if you had a stadium, they don't have enough hotel rooms, don't have enough infrastructure. Well, all of that's been taken care of, and it looks like it looks pretty good that Nashville will have a Super Bowl by the end of this decade.
Yeah, and I think that was pretty obvious when they got the new stadium approved. Is that going to have a roof? I can't remember.
Yes, it's not a retractable. It's a solid. It's one of those translucent, very much like in Vegas. It's a translucent roof that'll make it feel like daylight there, but it is a covered stadium.
Yeah, then that kind of clinches it. They don't have to worry about the weather, because when we were in Atlanta, that was a dome, but practicing outside, that was a little rough.
Yeah, no, that would be a different. Well, practicing in a parking lot behind a mall was a little bit rough too back in the day, right?
For sure. But yeah, as I said, the draft is always a fun night for me, and even after the draft, when you think about trying to sign undrafted free agents. And one of my favorite draft memories, Tom, after the draft in 1990, I signed John Randall for $5,000 as an undrafted free agent out of Texas A&M Kingsville. He weighed 240 pounds, came to camp about 260, and ends up in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So that was one of my favorite draft moments after the draft.
After the draft moments. Yeah, I know you always like to talk about that one. Yeah, after the draft, being able to get John Randall. So that's good stuff, too. All right, man. Appreciate you as always. Great stuff.
Great. Thanks, Tom. Have a great draft night, and we will talk next week about what the Titans and everybody else did.
We will, too, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's Jeff Diamond. Good stuff there. All right. There is new bombshell stuff that's popping, having to do with Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini. So, John, this story is 6 years old. This is from when he was the head coach of the Titans. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's video out there that's showing Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel hugging and kissing on March 11th of 2020. Where's it at? The Lit Tribeca Tavern? Where is that? That's not in Nashville, I don't think. Anyway, there's pictures of them. They're kind of all over each other. Vrabel was married. Rossini was married at the time. So apparently this relationship between those two goes back several years now, which is kind of weird. He was the head coach of the Titans at the time, so he was already having this little tryst, if you will, with Diana Rossini. Although he's going to make better decisions. He's going to make better decisions. But that was not a one-off, apparently. All right, we're going to get a break in here. We'll come back. Phone lines go open, 256-576-4977, 256-576-4977. What colleges have had the most draft picks in the NFL? We'll share that intel with you. Players that could slide in the draft as well. We'll show that intel with you. And whatever else that you want to get. Would you go to an NBA game in Nashville? We'll explain that as well. It's the Thom Abraham Show. Back with more right after this.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Alabama Crimson Tide baseball today on the road at Tennessee. The Crimson Tide, the plus 105 underdog against the Vols, minus 135 in Knoxville. Atlanta Braves 8-6 over the Nationals yesterday. The Braves rallied from 3 runs down for the victory. They have won 7 of 8. They wrapped the series today as a $1.49 favorite at Nationals Park. 9 over the total. Braves back at home tomorrow to open up a weekend series with the Philadelphia Phillies. Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, 10-1 with the Jack Links 500 at Talladega Sunday. William Byron 11-1. Tyler Reddick 12-1. Kyle Larson 14-1. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
The ultimate golf experience is waiting for you at the Golfus. For a limited time, you can get an unlimited membership for only $99 a month. Hit balls on the range, play any of our 2,000 golf courses, have a graduation party, or host a corporate event. For all the details, go to thegolfus.com. We have 2 locations in Huntsville and a location soon coming to Hughes Road in Madison. That's thegolfus.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental, and they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the perfect cleaning solution for you. Whether it's new construction, daily work areas, or an area that's been neglected for too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you choose the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Valley even has the right cleaning products for the job. Call Valley Equipment Rental today to learn more. Make a clean sweep with Valley Equipment Rental.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the lower 80s, dropping into the upper 50s as we head into the overnight. More cloud cover for your Friday. It looks like some showers and thunderstorms are going to move in Friday afternoon into the evening. That activity will stick with us as we head into the overnight. Maybe some stronger thunderstorms with some gusty winds and very heavy rain. Upper 70s on Friday, mid 70s on Saturday.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Abraham here from my friends at All About Water, LLC. Look, those spring and summer rains are going to hit at some point, and when they do, you need Ryan at All About Water to help you deal with keeping it away from your foundation or doing damage on your property. Now, his background is in fluid dynamics, and that assures you that they can handle any job, including building and maintaining a pond or any other sort of water feature. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com. Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. Yeah, who takes these pictures and holds on? I mean, these pictures are 6 years old from this little hole-in-the-wall bar of Vrabel and Diana Rossini. Now, Diana Rossini was not married then. She wouldn't be married for another 6 months. Vrabel was married at that particular point in time. He's still married to his wife, Jen. This was when he was the head coach of the Titans, but it's from 6 years ago. But, John, who takes these pictures and who hangs on to these pictures? It's like there's nobody in the bar. Place is dimly lit. It's just like red. The pictures are all red. They're at page 6. is where you find them. And then they're kissing and they're cozy and knee to knee and all that other kind of stuff. And it's like, now these pictures pop up. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, whoever took them is probably into stocks because they waited until those stocks were at their highest and then sold them because holy cow, having those pictures whenever he's the coach of the Titans and they're decent at the time, but they're not really going to the Super Bowl. They're not getting to the pinnacle of his career. And then waiting until, he brings the Patriots to that Super Bowl.
Yeah, but how do you know? Someday Mike Vrabel is going to be a Super Bowl head coach, and then I'm going to pop the pictures out.
How does anybody know? With stocks, I mean, you'd hold on to them until the buy-in is right, and that's exactly what these people did. And it's obviously in the dismay of Mike Vrabel, but for somebody, they're benefiting very much profitably.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, we don't know what they got paid for these pitchers, but Vrabel's going to miss Saturday, the third day of the draft, the final few rounds of the draft, which are critical days because he's checking into rehab. Okay? He said, I would encourage a player to do the same thing. I had, I made some terrible choices, blah, blah, blah. He's going into rehab for being an adulterer. That's something you go to rehab for?
The most addicting thing on the planet is women.
Well, the thing is he, that's what it makes you wonder. Is he a serial adulterer? Are there other women that he's been with? Or did he have a long-standing relationship with Diana Rossini going back to before she was married? Is he a sex addict? Is that what, he's going into rehab for, you have to go into rehab to learn how to honor your vows? To be true blue to the woman you married? And to your kids and everything else because it impacts them as well? I got to go in rehab. There isn't a rehab facility you go into that starts on Monday or Sunday. You're going into rehab on Saturday when you're still selecting players for your team. And then right after the players get selected, remember, when the draft ends Saturday night and the 7th round is complete and the compensatory picks are complete, that's when you begin signing free agents. And you would think that the coach would want to be involved in that as well. I get it that he's got some kind of a problem here. He's an adulterer. Is it a relationship with this one woman? He committed adultery. Is that something you go to rehab for? What do you do in rehab when you've committed adultery? How do they teach you how to be loyal to the woman that you dedicated your life to? I'm not being flippant about it. I'm wondering about it. How you deal with something like that. Most of the people that I've dealt with that have had infidelity in their life, usually it comes down to a faith issue. That when you turn and strengthen your faith, then you make a choice to live the right way. Does he need rehab or does he need a priest or a pastor? Or does he need to strengthen his faith? I have said this all the time. And I said this to some, who was I talking to who's getting married, John? I was somebody that just recently, it was a young guy was it a guy I was fishing with? Yeah. It was a young guy that I drew as a co-angler in a tournament. And he told me he was engaged to get married. And they're getting married on my birthday, which the first thing I told him is, what are you getting married in the fall for? You know how many times September 11th is going to be a game day in college football or opening day of the NFL and it's your anniversary? Don't. So that was my first bit of counseling. Probably shouldn't have been my first bit of counseling. But what I tell people all the time is I don't believe that we are naturally how do I say this? I think we're predisposed to infidelity in that it takes faith. It takes three. It takes a man, a woman, and that's marriage, a man and a woman. Some people I know, they think that, doesn't have to involve a man and a woman. It can involve a man and a woman and a dedication to God. I believe you have to have faith in your life. You have to have the Lord in your life. And if you have that, it's a lot easier to be faithful in your marriage. If you don't have that, it's a lot easier to stray. And we hear about people all the time straying. I don't think it's a natural thing. I think we're like it's not like the animals in the jungle. They don't have the same mate. We're the only thing on the planet that has the same mate for your entire life. People, human beings. It's a human thing. But I don't think it's a natural thing. So if you don't have faith, you have an excellent opportunity. The chances are much better that there's going to be infidelity at some particular point in time in your marriage. I think that's true. But that's just me. But I don't know, unless he's a sex addict, unless he is like a serial cheater. Rehab? He's going to rehab because he's an adulterer. I didn't know they had adultery rehab. So, like, are they all the same people? Like the gambling anonymous, the alcohol anonymous, the drug addict anonymous, the serial cheater, the have an affair anonymous. I mean, this is 6 years ago with the same woman. Chances are, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. That's the other thing. We don't know these people. We say, he's a great guy, man. Mike Vrabel's a great guy. Well, is he? We don't know. You think you know, but we don't know. All right, phone lines. I know it's uncomfortable. I understand it. I get it. If you want to jump on board, you can jump on board. Text window. I think birds mate for life. Is that true? Is that true? Somebody hit me in a text window and said that birds mate for life. Do they? They might not live very long. Remember the Meatloaf song? You don't remember the Meatloaf song. You're too young. But there's a Meatloaf song, Loved by the Dashboard Lights. And he's telling this girl, the guy's trying to get lucky with this girl, the Meatloaf, it's, trying to get lucky with this girl. And she's like holding him off unless you tell me that you're going to love me till the end of time. And then finally he says, okay, I'll love you to the end of time. And then at the end of the song, he's singing, now I'm praying for the end of time. I'm praying for the end of time. You know the song, Joe? Or John? Loved by the Dashboard Lights?
Definitely a possibility. I've heard it then. Maybe.
I'll love you to the end of time. Now I'm praying for the end of time.
Also, roughly 90% of bird species are monogamous. That means
really?
Obviously they pair with one partner for a breeding season.
Really?
But very
good
few,
for the birds.
Very few truly mate for life. And, they have kids and all of that stuff or whatever. And then they go out and they pair with others, or they're, replacing them if one dies. Well,
they don't know how long does a bird live? I mean, I'm not talking about a cockatoo like I had, when I was a kid. But how long does like a regular bird, like a robin, live? I mean, they can mate with one person. They're probably only alive for a couple of years.
Typically,
cardinals,
2 to 5 years.
2 to 5 years. Anybody can make it 2 to 5 years. And when do you start? Like if you're a teenage bird, you're not mating yet, are you? You maybe start mating. I don't know. If you're only going to live 2 to 5 years, you may start mating about 6 months in. But that's it. 2 to 5 years. Boom.
Mike Vrabel likes birds.
What did he say?
He said Mike Vrabel likes birds. Hummingbirds actually live 6 to 12 years, believe it or not.
6 to 12 years. Do you think they hum around with the same mate, though? I don't know. I never see. Now, we have hummingbirds. I never see 2 hummingbirds together. I mean, I see them two together, like they'll go to the hummingbird feeder and stuff and like want to be on one side and want to be on the other side, but I just assume they don't really know each other. Like we have cardinals in our trees around the house, and I seem to see them in pairs a lot. Like there'll be the male cardinal, which is red, and the female cardinal, which is gray with a red head. There's one of them dead out behind the studio on the ground.
Cardinals usually live 8 to 12 years.
8 to 12 years monogamously.
Social.
I bet they mess around. I bet they mess around. John, if you had to guess off the top of your head, just using that big brain of yours, what college has had the most NFL draft picks in the history of the NFL draft? Now, remember, going back to the 30s, since 1936.
I'm going to say it's probably going to be a northern team. Give me Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, 538. Did you look it up? Are you cheating?
No, I'm still looking at how long birds live.
Birds are? Okay. Notre Dame would be number one with 538 players selected. All right, they'll get to 539 for sure with Jeremiah Love, and I don't know how many guys they're going to have drafted this year. Number two may surprise you a little bit because it's been a minute, but they were cranking them out earlier in this century. USC, 533. Okay. Do you think Ohio State or Michigan has had more players drafted?
Michigan. Damn it!
Ohio State has 503 because Michigan has kind of sucked. You know, they had one good year, but they've sucked for a number of years where Ohio State's been really good since Jim Tressel and Urban Meyer. So, I mean, last year, Ohio State had 14 players drafted. Last year. 14 last year. So they've had 95 first-rounders. So number 3 is Ohio State at 503. Number 4 is Michigan at 422. Would you think Oklahoma or Alabama have had more players drafted?
I'd like to think Alabama, but the way that you are wording this, I feel like it's going to be Oklahoma.
Till the end of the night tonight. Oklahoma has had 419 players drafted. Seen a dip in overall draft numbers recently. Only 5 players drafted in the last 2 years, the lowest 2-year total in more than 2 decades for Oklahoma. But they still have the second most number 1 overall draft picks in history. They have 400. They have Baker Mayfield, remember, Kyler Murray, back-to-back number 1.
Yeah.
Overall. They have fed 419. Alabama has 418. They have had incredible success at Alabama during the Nick Saban era. The Crimson Tide own the active streak of 17 consecutive drafts with at least 1 first-round pick. They'll have at least 2 this year in the first round. It's the longest in the country. Alabama has produced multiple first-round selections in 9 straight drafts. It'll be 10. 31 players over that span, 49 since 2009. Then there's a drop-off to Penn State. So the top 6 is going to stay. Alabama will pass Oklahoma this year. And the top 5 will be Notre Dame, USC, Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama. In fact, Alabama will probably pass Michigan this year, too, because they're only 4 behind Michigan, and Alabama will have more players drafted. Michigan. All right, we'll get a break, come back and wrap it up. Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
At Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, we love baseball almost as much as we love serving up the best and baddest burgers around. People have called our burgers totally insane. And at Bad Daddy's, we take that as a compliment. But it's not just burgers. Up first, starters like our fried pickles, wings, or poblano frites. Second, try one of Bad Daddy's giant chopped salads. Third, our famous chef-inspired burgers with lots of different taste options. And before you head home, finish up with one of our shakes or delicious banana pudding. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and Clift Farm in Madison.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Thom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he could take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231. So according to the text window, bald eagles and penguins mate for life. All right. I get that with the Eagles.
America.
I know, it just makes total sense. I mean, you know, why wouldn't you with the Freebird? I get that with the Eagles. And the Chubby Ninja says that we were definitely wired one man, one woman by our creator. But then sin and pride came in and we selfishly wanted to have multiple partners to our detriment. But the plan was one man, one woman. I would agree with that. Chubby Ninja. All right, that's going to do it. Football Friday show for you tomorrow. Until then, Have yourself a great day, everybody.